Oh, you want
Okay,
to do it right
so
now?
what's the problem?
Okay, here's May 16th, 2024. Representative Massey introduces Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act to end the Fed. Okay, and if you read this, Representative Thomas Massey announces the introduction of H.R. 8421, the Federal Reserve Board Abolition Act. Massey's legislation abolishes the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve banks. It also repeals the Federal Reserve Act, the 1913 Federal Reserve Act that created the Federal Reserve System. I'll just continue reading this. Americans are suffering under crippling inflation, and the Federal Reserve is to blame, said Representative Massey. It's a much bigger problem than inflation. During COVID, the Federal Reserve created trillions of dollars out of thin air and loaned it to the Treasury Department to enable unprecedented deficit spending. Now, wait a minute. That money belongs to us. It belongs to the Treasury. What are we doing allowing the Federal Reserve System, which is nonprofit, to own that as profit and then loan it to the Treasury? It's not supposed to be loaned to the Treasury. It's supposed to be transferred to the Treasury as profit, as on budget profit, basically. Like when the U.S. Mint creates coins, that value belongs to the Treasury, belongs to the U.S. government. So we need to, America needs to wake up to the fact that when $1 trillion is created out of thin air, it's supposed to be profit for the Treasury, not tax debt. So we're launching a new campaign. Hopefully it'll be up within about a week. Volunteers are working on it right now, where it's going to be an opportunity, the first since the 1800s, to sign your own personal petition for redress of grievances, to expose the Federal Reserve System to Congress and demand that Congress stops this nonsense of borrowing our own money. And Stephen Moore and I had a conversation a few years ago in Las Vegas. And to simplify it, if we could enforce the nonprofit status of the Federal Reserve, which this is even more than that, the money that the Federal Reserve System, the shareholders of the Federal Reserve System, the bankers, the money and the property and the assets that they have acquired through the creation of our money that belongs to us, if we could recover that, it would exceed the federal debt by an unbelievable amount of money, and it would completely eliminate the need for any taxation whatsoever, right down to the local level. Stephen Moore agreed with me on that concept, and I'm going to be at FreedomWorks. No, not FreedomWorks. That's a pack. I'm going to be at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas, Nevada in July, and hopefully I'll be able to have another conversation with Stephen Moore and maybe videotape it. So keep your eyes peeled. The petition for redress of grievances to expose the Federal Reserve System is going to be available at lloydbrunson.com. And volunteers, like I said, are working on it right now. It was supposed to be done yesterday. So hopefully within the next few days, it'll be up and running and you'll be able to sign this very short, your personal petition for redress of grievances. The first time America's had an opportunity to do this since the 1800s. The last time it was done, it helped abolish slavery. So it'll explain it in simple terms, 2 or 3 paragraphs. You can sign that and on the internet and have it fulfilled and it turned into a physical letter with postage on it. It'll also show you instructions on how you can do it if you don't want to do it through the internet. So just look for that, lloydbrunson.com, and I'll update you as soon as we're up and running. Thanks, you guys.